You know they got that same name with different point of views. Whichever one you choose, you can't lose. They got that same name, different point of views. Whichever one you choose, you can't lose. Keisha and Keisha,
knowledge, wisdom, and discernment.
Keisha
you don't got it, you can get some if you heard them.
Keisha and Keisha, man.
Knowledge, wisdom, and discernment.
Keisha
you don't
and
got
Keisha,
it, you
man.
can get some if you heard them. We gon' laugh, have a good time. Just sit back and elevate your mind.
Episode 15, we're back.
God.
We're back. Who missed us?
Well, we did an episode. We just
we did it early. I missed you.
Okay, I missed you too.
What?
Oh God, somebody help us all.
That's all right. I didn't realize I missed this podcast. It's been wonderful doing it. I enjoy it.
Wait, the podcast or the person? What?
I do the podcast with the person. Don't get in your feelings.
I'm in my feelings.
We got too much stuff to do. We got a lot to cover.
Do you love me? Okay.
Very much.
No.
Very much.
Girl, they was
After this is what I've been through, very much.
All right, let's recap. What we got?
Stormy, my girl. Girl, I'm already with you. I got some money for your bail. Don't you worry, Stormy. I'm on my way to get you.
Oh,
boo.
my God. Stormy was arrested. Even though she's out, she has to be. She's
That's
go to
all right.
court
I
on
sent my
Friday.
money.
She go to court on Friday. Apparently, she was in a strip club out in Columbus, Ohio.
Doing her job,
And-
minding her business.
And they said she forced a patron in her chest and inappropriately touched women. So as a result, the police came and arrested her. And of course, her attorney was like, it's just bogus because, of course, they mad. And you know who they is.
Well, and then the law hadn't been applied in several years. So it's like it hadn't been. Why y'all all of a sudden came up with this law? It wasn't even sexual contact. It wasn't even sexual contact.
Yeah. Well, you know how they do. All right. What about Alexandria?
Ocasio-Cortez.
Oh, you love saying that.
Yes,
Okay.
I do.
She scored a major political upset last month when she upseated powerful Democrat Representative Joe Crowley in the Democratic primary for a New York congressional seat. Go girl. But she also won the Reform Party primary as a write-in candidate in a different Bronx-based district over the incumbent. But she decided to stay with her Democratic Party. But you go, girl. Now, that's what I'm trying to say. She's setting the record so that more young people can come on. We trying to give y'all the seats. We'll write y'all in if we have to. Come on.
Hey, but she one person. Y'all pick somebody else.
Oh. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm telling them to step up.
That's what
you
I'm
asked them to
saying.
pick somebody else, and they might have anybody to pick.
No. I'm just saying that she's got one spot. Now we need to find another
Correct,
person
but
to
she
get
was
that.
grassroots and did her thing. We need to get some more to step on up. All right, the cop that shot the boy in the back in Pittsburgh got fired from an affluent community in January for being brutal and a liar, but then was hired in the black community, sworn in, and 90 minutes later killed that baby and then said that he felt comfortable with what he did. Yeah. And I watched D.L. Hughley, on The View, and he talked about how the people who live in the community should be the people policing the community. Because you just and here's another thing, too. I was in Chicago. I went there for a week, and I was talking to my sister-in-law's father, and he's a police officer, and so is her younger brother. And the father is like, he's in his 60s, and he was just saying how it used to be times when the people who were in the community were the people who looked like you. And he says that even you got the hierarchy, the chief, and all these different type of people on different shifts, they know who the hotheads are. They know who the people who would be doing crazy stuff to folks or whatever. And he talked about how, sometimes this one dude basically told him, I ain't going back to jail. He was like, all right. He called in for some backup and was like, look, man, come on, get in the car. He said he said he's never had to pull out his gun because he was afraid,
Let me speak. I know you went one way with it, and I want to take it back to the racist part of this, to exactly what he commented on last week that was disturbing, but I said it wasn't so disturbing for him because that's how he felt. We're talking about the one who
he
shot.
said, no, he said he was comfortable.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's
That's
the
how he
word
felt.
that
He was comfortable.
Yeah, I don't
so
like that
let's
word,
get
though.
back to this. The department that hired him obviously knew he got fired from that community.
Yeah.
And let me say, so you thought he was a person that this community needed?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go out on a limb. If there had been a brother who got fired from one community, the next community like, we don't want you. And he was hired. What'd that tell you? I'm going to say white privilege.
I'll tell you this.
That.
We have a friend here locally, Carlos Jones, who is a police officer, and I think he became a police officer either in Montgomery or Selma. But he's going to come on the shore, and he's going to basically clear up some of this stuff. So we're going to we're going to give him an opportunity to come in and spend about 10 minutes with him just on this issue, because with him having the experience of being an officer in Selma, in Montgomery.
And Fort Walton Beach
and Fort Walton,
and
Crest. So he's been doing the job for a long time. He was the one who took us, if you ever on our Instagram page, and took us shooting out to the range. Very responsible dude. And so we're planning to get him on here to have him talk about that. So we'll move past that to come back to it. All right. So it was 105 kids that were supposed to be reunited yesterday with their parents, and what they did was they did all but maybe 20 or so. They said some of the kids couldn't find their parents, of course, because either they've been deported back or they came over with people who weren't their parents and blah, 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 blah. But I hate that Trump keeps telling them to stop coming to our country illegally. And I put up a post on our Instagram where it talks about, in the Word, God says, treat immigrants like they're native to that land. Because they're here and they're seeking asylum. How is that illegal? Like, he's doing the most.
I was going to ask him, well, how do you get in legally? I want him to answer that first.
Well,
while you telling people how not to come illegally, tell me how to come legally. Mm-hmm. Tell me how your wife the hell got here. Tell me how that happened. And is she legal? Do you know her status?
Did she come on a boat? No. Okay.
That bitch came on a...
All right. 12-year-old paper boy gets the police called on him on the first day on the job delivering while being black. I tell you, his mom was like, she was trying to teach her two young boys how to be responsible, to earn money, and the first day the police pulled up on them. This is just getting ridiculous.
Well, I got to tell you, when they call, they seem to be losing their job, white people. Hey, and listen, no business want to be associated with a racist. And they don't. And I don't care what business they are. That's why they dropping these people left and right. All the white people, not all, I'm going to just say most of them that have called on black people have lost their job. So, hint, that's on you. Call. And we're going to make it go viral. Black Twitter has no breaks. Black Twitter put you out there, and they'll contact your company and let them know that, hey, you know this racist work for you? She called on an 8-year-old. She called on a boy cutting grass. He called on somebody swimming. Listen, that's why I love Black Twitter. I love the fact that we're able to put them out there, and they're losing their jobs, but the thing that, even though with them losing their jobs, we go back to the white cop who was able to find a job immediately, that they're probably going to find a job somewhere else. Somebody else will hire because of white privilege.
I'm going to tell you, I've been reading, and I know I'm going to jack his name up, Ta-Nehisi Coates, his book, and one of the things he talked about was saying that it's not the individual cop, it's a whole society. This is the way they have treated black people from the very beginning. So it makes it okay for them to get away with these things. They've been doing it forever. From the time of slavery on, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. But I'm like, at this point, my heart is heavy. Like, I'm so sad about just the foolishness, and I'm hoping, a change must come.
Well, I think I had this conversation with someone a while back about the fact when we had civil rights and we thought we had moved so far ahead. And then you come to this day and age and realize that we only went an inch. I thought we went a couple of feet. And it's on. And honestly, it's the code of silence. It's the word changing the language, but still saying the same thing, that black people are lazy, black people steal, black people are loud, black people do this, and it's like, really? Is that what you think that about us? And we're going to touch on a little bit more, but you've never been exposed to anybody black. They believe all the hype they hear.
Yep. Yes, they do. Okay, Miss Shonda Rhimes is moving to Netflix. Go, Shonda. Go, Shonda. And again, we're going to say, sorry, Monique. Netflix is bringing, they doing their dang thing with people of color, baby. So I don't know what happened in your deal. Just like DL said, he don't know what happened in your deal. But they doing what they need to do. So I think you definitely done lost the battle and the war on this with Netflix. We moving on because everybody loves us some Shonda Rhimes, baby. She puts it down. Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah, Shonda.
I hope she bring all them people from Scandal with her because I'm following them.
Hey, she's thinking about doing that. I think I saw that.
Yes.
Okay. All right. What about the FBI agent accused of accidentally dropping and firing his gun while dancing?
Girl,
That's
the
hilarious.
judge allowed him to, he's able to carry his gun again. But y'all, we were talking about guns and being in control of them. This man is a trained person with a gun and still had an accident.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, it really worries me about the untrained.
Shot that dude in his leg, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
And he still has a lawsuit. That dude's suing him. So.
Okay. What you know, no good.
What you know, no good.
Oh, you being real soft today, huh?
Because my throat.
Now, y'all
my
remember
throat.
that about her throat when we
My
get a little
throat hurt.
further on into this. We'll see. I
My
missed
throat
you, Kiki.
hurt. I missed you
Kiki,
too, girl.
Do you love me? Okay.
I do. And I really, really,
Oh,
really,
God.
really do.
All right, so, okay, and I know this is going to take some people there, and it's okay. Service animals for disability versus for emotional support.
Or just your friend.
Okay, so like for real, here's my concern with that. There are animals that, say for example, if someone cannot hear, or they're blind,
Or diabetic.
or diabetic, and you know they are trained to smell certain things, to know and do all that kind of stuff, or to hear the doorbell, or to answer the phone. I mean, just not answer
And the
phone, but-
diabetic animal will lick the person and let them know their blood sugar is low.
Yeah.
That they need to.
So these
get some,
animals, even though
insulin.
they don't have extensive training in every case, but for the most part, they go through 6+ months of training. They're not harmful to anyone, and so they walk with these people, because you see people who are blind and different
Yeah.
stuff like that. I don't think it's ever been a problem with that.
They're
But there is
on
such-
duty. They're service animal. They're not pets.
But
Let's
there-
get that straight.
Okay, but there's such an insurgence, I should say, of
People.
emotionally support animals,
Yeah.
to the point where folks have these dogs and animals and different things, and saying it is there.
Name some of them animals, Keisha. Tell me what
Girl.
because all I can think of is a dog. But go ahead.
No, they have cats.
Ugh.
They have giraffes.
What? Who
They
got a
have,
giraffe? From where?
monkeys. They have, like this is literally all these different animals
Where you
that
get a damn
somebody.
giraffe from?
Hey, and they try to get on the airport, on the airplane with them, and then they want them, because they're service animals, to have their own seat on the airline. Airlines, we don't have to provide them with a seat as long as they're sitting, clearing the aisle, and where, because a lot of them are small enough to fit up under the seat or whatever. But I just think that, I get you're an animal lover. I get you don't want to leave your dog at home. I get that you milking the system so you don't have to buy them a ticket
No,
or
I
whatever.
don't get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I get it, meaning that I see why people are trying to get away with it. But my issue or my concern is that now, to me, you're kind of diluting the whole idea of service animals, and that's just wrong.
You a liar and a cheat,
Yeah, because you can go online and buy the little vest,
girl.
get the papers, everything, girl. They got
Listen, you get that.
You pay enough
you
money.
get all that, but listen, if you ain't got no real problems and your dog ain't trained for service, that is not a service animal. That is your pet that you Come on.
All right.
right.
So, San Bernardino County DA makes racist remarks about Maxine Waters, Michelle Obama, and a recent victim of police violence. I mean, the fact that he's a county DA, district attorney, okay, that
wait a
means
minute.
the people pay him.
Wait a minute. You did say something about the system is against us.
Right.
Okay.
I know.
That's
That's what I'm saying.
That's
So
part of the system.
I think they
Let's
need to go back and investigate all of his cases and make sure that those people had fair and impartial trials, or whatever the situation is, because when he went on his rant, he was being real ignorant.
Oh, that's how he is. He was being himself. That's what you trying to tell me?
Yeah.
He was being himself. He before he wear that mask. He couldn't wear that mask. He had to take that hood off and tell us who he was. But I'm gonna go out and scream to the brothers. We need y'all to step up. When we get men like this, we need y'all to step up and step out and let him know, no, you're not going to talk about Maxine Waters or any other sister like this. Period.
That is true. Unity makes things
No,
happen.
and I mean, if he get a Barack Obama in his face, let's see.
Because Rock don't play about Michelle,
Okay.
baby.
Okay, and I'm sure you don't play about Auntie.
Yes, Auntie. All right, Starbucks worker girl was fired for mocking a customer stutter. The worker replied to the man's order by saying, "Okay, Sam," and then even put on his cup, SSSAM.
What you said? What is it?
Attitude.
To reflect leadership. When the president disabled people.
Ooh, say it. Hold on a minute.
Girl, I'm
say it
just
again.
like,
Say it one more time for the people who didn't listen.
I don't know people that don't have anyone with a disability in their family. I mean, I did.
Friends, family, you got, yeah.
And I'm saying that physical disability or emotional physical disability, but the mocking, we were talking about love a few weeks ago. This is just hate and nasty.
It's bad enough you responded to him that way, but then you put it on his cup like that, thinking that junk is funny.
And when he whipped your ass, he just stuttered. I think the way to stop this mess is to go ham. Just go ham on them.
That is not the answer, Keisha, to everything. We beat people down. Now you're in jail.
No. You ain't in jail.
Why you not?
Because they ain't going to call the police. They ain't going to be able to.
Oh, okay.
Unless you going to call the police on yourself.
No, I don't think they can do that.
I think I dare bitch to call the police.
Oh, my God. All right.
Go ahead.
Native Americans are fighting to get the names of Yellowstone Park and Valley changed because they are named after people who were involved in a genocide of them. And I think that that's right. I mean, you got the people who we were trying to take down statues, trying to do all that kind of stuff. And Native Americans, I mean, like, I have, like, this spot in my heart for them because just the stuff they've gone through with the land that they openly said, hey, Peach people, y'all come on in.
Feed y'all. We see y'all about to starve.
Like,
we should have let them starve. Stop. Hey, good intentions.
They've been so ruthless from the beginning. I mean, just if you not considered white or whatever they are, then you treat. It's just so sad. That's why I get post-traumatic stress syndrome. I cannot watch those movies. I can't deal with none of that. Like, it's just crazy.
Well, on my Facebook page today, someone shared these women in Nairobi who dress up in European gear. The Germans came and almost annihilated their tribe. And so the one way that they do is they dress up in these European gear. I mean, colorful, the hats and everything, to remind themselves that they overcame it and to let them know, yeah, we got on your clothes and we're still here. And I was like, it's almost like how we take the N-word back. But it was something that they are so proud of. And it took them a long time to overcome that. With the natives, too, we're still fighting colonism. It's like we're still fighting that. And we're all supposed to be free, and it did something to each generation. How far removed am I from slavery? Hundreds of years, and I still feel it. Yeah. I still feel it.
It's just embedded in this culture, in this country. It's embedded.
In the system.
Yeah, in the system. And just like, what we were talking about earlier, well, we hadn't got down. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. The Constitution, we just had the 4th of July and all the black folks that celebrated. I'm going to tell you, Negroes, it was not for your day. It was not your day. Because it wasn't your day because in 1776, our forefathers said that all men are created equal. But they reneged on that because they didn't make the slaves free. They fell. Yeah. They fought for the American Revolution to get their freedom from Britain and then decided to enslave people. Yeah. And that's where America failed at. America, it's been a downhill struggle ever since because they had the opportunity right then to make every man free. And the slaves fought with them. And they turned around and said, oh, yeah, thank you for fighting, but we're going to go back and put you in chains.
Hey, when it came down
to
all
men are created
dollar.
Equal. But all men are created equal.
Yep.
But all men are created equal. Who is the men? Women and slaves, and I mean, they fell. They fell.
Papa John, the founder of Papa John and CEO, his racial slurs on his conference call, he had to resign today. And already the Major League Baseball have taken their contract and put it on hold. He had lost 30% of his profits after the NFL thing that he said. I mean, he's just running his business in the ground with his comments. Like he said, he grew up in Indiana and would see black people getting drug out of trucks until they died, and that how AFC used the N-word and nothing happened to him. And I mean, what are we doing?
We're trying to justify being an asshole. Let me clarify something for you, Mr. Papa John. When you came out as a Trump supporter, I already knew what type of dude you were, and I stopped buying your crap, your crappy ass pieces. But let me get something said. You're gonna drop the N-word, then you're gonna turn around and say that other people did it instead of owning up to what you did.
Yep.
Where's the ownership?
Well,
and the responsibility for you being an asshole.
Correct. Because I mean, it was in a meeting where they were dealing with issues like this. It's just, I don't know. All right, so Mr. Trump, again, is dogging Obama and trying to rescind his guidelines on race and college admissions. And the whole thing of affirmative action sent a lot of well-qualified and educated black people to school, period. And Texas is probably one of the biggest states that have fought this tooth and nail because, a lot of if you go start heading towards that west end of the world, you find that a lot of schools and stuff don't have, not one. And
well, hey, that's why I went to HBCU. You ain't got to worry about me going to your ragged ass school, kick rocks. But I understand it's
I went to a PWI,
I understand there's a people.
And I think our HBCU was inside the PWI. I went to the University of Illinois in Champaign-Urbana, and I was just talking to my brother-in-law about this on how
What
we
is
were
a
like
PWI?
a primarily white institution.
I didn't know what the hell that was. Thank you for enlightening us.
When you use the word HBCU, people say PWI.
I ain't never said it.
HBCU is historically black
colleges and
university, and PWI is primarily
that's
white
why I asked. I
institution.
learned. Hey, people, we learn something new all the time. PWI.
All right.
Primarily white institutions. I was like,
okay.
What is a PWI? But hey, this is the thing. Trump, and I'm going to tell black people, listen, they don't want to be near you. They don't want you around them. We got to learn to love each other. And I'm not saying not to disconnect with white people, but I think it's time for us to really reconnect with ourselves.
And the thing about it is, every week, our news and stuff and the things we talk about is filled with these hate crimes and this disrespect towards African American, and it just needs to stop. It needs to stop. Like, I'm over it. Like, it needs to stop.
I'm with you.
All right, J.P. Morgan Chase has launched an online bank for millennials. It's called Fin, and what they did was, how we grew up, we had checks, okay, and we would write checks, and then we go into the bank and deposit our money in cash and da-da-da-da. Well, it's so funny how, for them to say this, because my son, when he graduated, he got a lot of checks from older people, whatever, and he, I said, DJ, I need you to go and deposit these checks. Like, Mom, I've already done it. And I didn't realize that he had the app on his phone, and he had done all his stuff or whatever. So they're coming of age, and it's just like in a book I was reading, if you're not trying to be progressive and move into the new era of what's going on with these millennials, you're going to get left behind.
I ain't like them damn millennials. I am old.
Whatever.
Okay, so again on the 4th of July. I'm so sick of these stories, and I know you like, when is it going to stop? When we start whooping motherfuckers' ass, when we start beating your ass, the shit'll stop. The shit'll stop right then. I am so sick of this. You know why? Because we so complacent. We over here going, oh, brother, I just want to be friends with the white people. Listen, I'm tired of y'all. I'm so sick of y'all. So on 4th of July, an African-American millionaire.
Yes.
Did I say millionaire?
You did.
Okay. And his Manhattan consultant son, which means other millionaire,
Okay.
were victims of a 4th of July hate crime in Tampa, Florida. I'm so sick of y'all. Girl, I'm about to move. I'm finna go on over to Alabama. Just
like, Alabama is that much better. Shut up, Keisha. It is not. Like,
Florida is the worst.
Girl.
I'm finna roll my shit to Bama.
Okay.
Anyway, so they're there vacationing, and they say a racist creep apparently snuck into their room and in that upscale Art or Ovation Hotel in Sarasota and left a 2x5 post-it note reading, "You are a nigger."
Yeah, and then, but what was their comment? How'd you say he felt like what?
Wait, hold on. "You are a nigger."
Okay.
And then, what I was going to say is,
right.
They didn't sneak in, boo. It was probably the people that worked there.
Well, I know, but you were saying his first thought was,
and then he goes,
what did we do to deserve it?
The 27-year-old.
I mean, but
the 27-year-old is like, what did we do to deserve this? You didn't do nothing to deserve this.
No, he needs to read Ta-Nehisi Coates' book, because I promise you, it clears up some
You
stuff.
need to listen to City Keisha and Country Keisha.
Okay, but
you did nothing to deserve this. Brother, that's what we telling you. Everything that's been happening to us, no one deserved it. No one deserved the police to be called for sleeping. No one deserved the police to be called for barbecuing.
Wearing
no one
socks in
deserved
the pool.
Nobody deserved the police to be calling the 8-year-old for selling water. No one deserved for a boy to cut part of a little bit of a lawn, the police to be called. No one deserved for the women who was at the B&B, whatever.
Yeah.
But none of this stuff is deserving.
Deliver papers. He's trying to get his business on.
I'm going to need this brother to change his language, because apparently, and I said this before, they used to tell us that we did something wrong, and now we got Facebook and the internet telling us, child, ain't nobody did nothing. I'm going to need you to change your language. You thinking all these people did something wrong. They must have got loud, or they was disrespectful to the cop. No. You're not deserving. It's just because you're black. They don't give a damn how much money you got and how much you spend.
Well.
And he said they was very polite to him. And it hurt his feelings, but I'm like, that's
all
why.
of our feelings are hurt, girl, because I'm tired. And that was something else they talked about in the book. I keep saying it because that's the book I'm reading right now. You know, I'm trying to read 15 books before the end of the year.
And you keep saying
but
that too.
Well, I know, and that's the deal, because that's how you educate yourself. But one of the things I'm talking about was that he was like, you know, we feel like you were saying he's feeling some kind of way about it, when really it's something that's so embedded in our culture and so embedded in the thought process of people that's where the change has to start happening. It can't happen because we feeling some way about it. You know what I'm saying? And the last time there was a revolution or a protest or a march or whatever the case may be, it's like we've done 100 million men. I mean, we've done so many different things, and it's like, where are we with this?
Well,
we keep reliving it over and over again because it is not changing.
I'm going to tell you why it's not changing. Because our minds are not changing. This brother said, I didn't think I deserved this. And I'm going, boo, you thought the other people deserve it? What are you saying? Because I'm saying, are you insinuating that the reason, and I'm going to go back to Steve Harvey saying, if you put your hand on 10 and 2 and you smile at the cop, you'll live. No, these cops are taking lives regardless of what you're doing. If you're black and they don't want you to live, what are they doing?
Yeah.
Taking your life. So this is what I need this brother. We got to change the way we think. We need to stop thinking that if we do everything right, that the system is going to work for us. These people are, you're saying that they did something wrong and they deserve to be shot at. Mm-hmm. And that's not we need to stop with this slave mentality. Mm-hmm. Get rid of the slave mentality. We are no longer slaves. Stop acting like even with $1 million, you still think you're a slave. Mm.
Well, you went to Essence this year, didn't you?
I sure did.
You did.
For the very first time. I've never been.
Really?
No. I told you I've never been.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so yeah.
Okay.
Let me say this. Black people, y'all got some buying power, which means we need to stop acting like we're powerless. All that money I saw at Essence, all them people, girl, to sit in Nolans, they ought to be balling.
They said that this was the biggest one. There were over 500,000 people there.
That's what they said, and because they were saying because of the movie Girls Trip.
Okay.
I gotta tell you, I saw over 100 different types of Girls Trip shirts.
Did you?
Everyone was like,
cute.
I know. I was like, oh my God, are y'all gonna stop? And they were switching them up every day.
Kiki, do you love? Okay, sorry.
I do.
I gotta keep saying
that. So with Essence,
everybody tired of it.
It was so crowded, so busy that I enjoyed it. But the first day we got there, I sent you some video of, and I hope we can put it up, but my phone, I'm going to tell you, I'm out of storage. Whenever you need phone.
I got the video.
Yeah. Well, and the video it was a parade that came through, and it was about Black Lives Matter. It wasn't Black Lives Matter, but it was about respecting our life as black people. So in the hours, because at first me and the lady was standing there, and we said, oh, it's some white supremacists coming through here. I had my water bottle. I told the lady, I'm throwing it. We're going to be fighting up in here. Me and that lady was ready. We were ready to go.
Oh, my Lord.
Look, it might have been 20 of us. We were going to fight. After I had that bottle, I had it right here. Then I saw the little black people.
Oh, okay.
And it's some
then
white
calmed
people.
You down.
Yeah, and I said, oh, okay, this better. I said, I was going back to catch a case.
Okay.
So it was nice. I got to walk through and see everything. But I was listening on the radio. I was there and still couldn't see everything. That Mary J. Blige and Simone I. Smith, they collaborated for a jewelry line. They were selling some gold hoop earrings, and I pulled it up online to look at it for $200, and they sold out. Mm-hmm. I was like, who were buying them earrings for $200? These folk were spending money.
Yeah, they were.
It
and
was
like
good.
you said, buying power.
I saw my husband, Kofi, Sarobo. I don't know. Do I need to know how to say his last name?
That's the first young guy that I've ever known you to like.
Girl, love.
Because, wait a minute now, Samuel, you pushing Samuel aside?
No.
See, I told you.
I ain't never pushing
All right,
Samuel.
so Mike Epps and Kevin Hart are beefing. And then that dang on
why they beefing?
Nick Can't. Okay, so they're beefing, which has been like that for years. And so apparently Mike recently said that Kevin's not funny. And Kevin's like, get your life. Like, I saw you. We tried to talk this out. I thought
Kevin's
it was
not
good, but
funny.
you keep going or whatever. And I knew he was going to say that. That's one of the reasons why I put that in there. But Nick Cannon then chimed in and was like, look, why can't everybody just get their coins? It's like it's enough white coins to go along for everybody. And then Mike Epps was like, shut your drumline stuff up or whatever. So he just been wilding out. And I think what
Keisha took all that money. You know he's married to Keisha. Who was it, Mike Epps or which one was married to Keisha?
I don't know.
I think it's Mike, and they divorced.
Oh, okay.
So she
well,
took
shame
that
on
money.
him. Take it, baby.
Yes, I right.
Well,
don't
but
like
you
it.
know, and I do. I like Kevin Hart. I think he's funny. I like his little
Thanks.
stories or whatever. I've gone to see Mike Epps. I went to see him in Chicago for a New Year's Eve thing and fell asleep. When you
That's
talk
because
about
you don't.
funny, I'm
well,
just saying.
I'm just saying.
And I'm
you
not
don't
saying
know
he
funny.
don't have moments, but I'm just saying, like, you know, all of them have moments. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. I mean,
Come, let's talk about beef. We talking about black on black beef.
Oh,
Let's go.
God.
50 Cent and Papoose beefing. Hey, I ain't mad at Paps. I'm all for Paps. Anybody slide in your girl DM with that girl, you looking good, you lost weight. Paps stopped it right there.
Like,
slap your, just slide your ass right on back out.
all
And
right.
he went hard on 50. And you know 50 is the worst. And 50 told me all I did was compliment this girl. No, bitch, you went in the DM. You direct message
You
Remy
being
Ma.
messy and you don't know.
What?
Papoose like, you better slow your roll, bro. I was the one with her and putting something on her books and going to see her when she was locked up. Baby.
And
So
they-
you better know that's my baby.
And they're pregnant.
I know.
That's great. Go ahead. Tank and Tamar. Did you see this? Did you hear about this?
No.
Girl, Tamar went out there because Tank brought the band with him to Essence. I don't know what happened, and he was,
Is that they share the band?
well, I guess they didn't, I mean, yeah, they did not share, but you know, they hired the same band. But what happened was, Tamar
She
went out.
fired all of them, right?
Yeah,
Because
she went out
she
there
had some like
talking about
special
it.
show or something, and they wasn't there to do the show with her. She had to get some other folks.
Well, she did a cappella, I think. She had a band. But anyway, she go out there trashing them. And Tank said, I can't let you do that. I can't let you trash these guys because it was the management who messed up and not them. There's a great band, and you out here trashing them. No, I can't let you do that. And then she come back and start calling Tank all kind of gay this and, I mean, just nasty. She went nasty.
Well, you know, Tamar going through so much stuff in her life, and I always say that people gonna reflect what they going through. If you ain't got God in your life, trust me, whatever's going on, going down, and you know this. I ain't
But
gonna even
Tank
make that
came
comment I
back.
was about to make, but
Tank came back as a man and said that, you know, I'm not going to be out here going back and forth with you. I just didn't feel like you should have did the guys like that because it was management that did it.
Yeah.
But he was like, take care of yourself and your family.
so you
and
got
as a grown man, I'm not even going to address half this mess you talking about.
You got LaShawn McCoy. He's an NFL player,
Ooh,
and
the
apparently
devil. He the devil.
The best friend of his ex-girlfriend went on a little Twitter, Instagram, I think, and said that he's the
Instagram.
devil. You're an animal. All in caps. She says we didn't say anything about how you beat your dog Henny into kidney failure. Let's not talk about all the times my best friend had to stop you from viciously beating your son for small things like peeing in the bed. We kept quiet about your drug uses and all the illegal steroids and needles you were using, but we will not keep quiet about this. I can't believe you did this to my best friend. She's like, your karma is going to be so real. The world needs to know what type of animal you really are. And apparently somebody broke her house and beat her up.
Allegedly.
Yeah. And beat her up, asking her specifically for the same jewelry he had been asking her for.
Mm-hmm.
And so they, you know,
Girl, like ignorant. And y'all ain't even that smart.
yeah.
So, well, and the thing is that I know it's out there, and we try to reserve, but if you saw her face and the way you saw the pictures, it's bad. Girl, she's blood is coming out down. I mean, in the hospital bed, they really did a number on her
pistol whipped
face.
her.
He really did a number on her face, and that's some personal stuff.
Yeah.
That ain't.
And why would
that
you
ain't-
wish anybody? I mean, like, yeah.
And I'm
Like she said,
gonna say this
karma
about.
gonna get you.
But I'm gonna say this about the girlfriend,
Best friend?
the best friend of the girlfriend. Why y'all was quiet for all that other shit?
Well, because that's
No.
what people do.
That's what I'm just asking the question.
I know, but
you
that's
should
what
have
people do.
stopped that shit before then. When he was beating the dog, turn to talk about it. When he about to beat his kids, talk. Now you wait till he beat her. It escalates, is what I'm saying. We need to stop being
Right. I mean, he showed his
complacent.
true colors, and that's
We
one
need
thing
to
you
stop being
realize.
complacent.
Yeah. Cardi B and Offset, baby.
Had their girl culture card Kiara.
Yeah. Okay. On Tuesday. She's so stinking cute.
Her
Her mama look crazy, but she cute.
Her mama look beautiful. Mama look like she just had a baby.
And I know you guys been seeing this whole thing, and we're gonna talk about what lacking, and this is actually was Puerto Rico lacking. The woman who the officer just stood there and watched her get harassed,
What-
and it
what we say
wasn't
about the
until
system?
right. And the dude talking about, son, why you got that shirt on, blah, blah, blah. Little do he know, Puerto Rico is
It's
a territory of the United States.
Of America.
Okay.
Okay, let me tell you, racist ass people. Learn some history. Read a book. Google some shit. Because right now, you're looking stupid.
J. Cole, one of them was rapping about that, and he was just saying that's how Trump is done. He took the ignorance of the white people and fueled it with this hatred, and they don't even know no better. Like half of them don't know the dang old national anthem and none of the other stuff they talking about.
Star Spangled Banner.
Oh
they over there disrespecting the banner.
Well, I'll tell you this.
All right.
D.L. Hughley was on The View, and one thing he said I really, really, really hit home for me. He says the most dangerous place for black people to live is in white people's imagination. And he was like, and he
Stop right there. Let that sink in.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
We believe that black people are inherently criminal. And it's gotten so bad to where some of even the black people who succeed will do that to other black people. Inherently, you will feel like they up to something. And I mean, and it's, let me tell you something. When I worked for a retail chain, people will come into the store, and my employees will watch every black person who stayed in there for more than 10 minutes. And I got pissed one day. And I pulled them to the back, and we stood at the door and watched these two little white teenage girls.
Peaches.
Yeah. Straight try to rob us blind. And was going to walk. Yeah, exactly. And so it's just like you said, inherently criminal. And that just, ooh.
That go back to the millionaire and his son. It's almost, when he said that, it's almost like you thought the black people that's been happening on the news, they deserved it, but you didn't. And it's like, no, nobody deserves this.
Right. And he says one of the words that white people use in the black community all the time is accountability, but it don't work both ways. If you're going to be accountable, treat everybody fairly, treat everybody like humans. And I just feel like, he was saying, again, about the policing. If you're going to police, let it be in the communities that you're comfortable with, that the people look like you, that you guys can, work together and get some stuff done and stop all this foolishness. And then he went on to talk about the third stanza in the Star Spangled Banner. It says, no refuge could save the hurling enslaved from the terror of the flight or the gloom of the grave. And the man who wrote that, the Star Spangled Banner, was a racist. And
Francis Scott Key.
Yeah, he owned slaves. And he believed blacks to be a distinct and inherent race of people. Inferior, race of people, which all experiences proves to be the greatest evil that afflicts a community.
The greatest, we the greatest evil? God damn, the greatest evil? Girl, if we the greatest evil, then what is taking people land and killing them and annihilating them and colonizing them? That ain't the greatest evil.
You better say it.
I don't know. I'm just asking.
I'm
asking for a friend.
If we were to put up, let's start when this country first started, back in the 1700s and 1800s, and let's look at it and say, okay, who was more evil?
16.
Well, you know what I mean. Yeah. I'm just saying, who was more evil? Pound for pound. Let's just stack it up and see.
The natives said, oh, here's some people we never seen before, and they look like they're going to starve. Guess what? We'll offer them some food to get them through. And as soon as they got healthy, they killed them folks, stole their land, gave them diseases. What?
And they made them become citizens to their native land. Like they were telling these people they weren't even citizens.
Wiped them out. They killed millions of natives with their diseases first.
Oh my God. And even just
because them folks had never been exposed.
500,000 people died in that. And it was like...
the natives had never been exposed to their nastiness.
In the words of Malcolm X, the chickens are coming home to roost. And a lot of the stuff, baby, time is running out. It really is. All right, to be or not to be. How to stay in love, Keisha?
Girl, I don't know.
You got a boo. You booed up. Booed up.
Ask somebody.
I'm tired of that song, too.
I'm going to ask you and your boo, how y'all stay in love. I'm sorry.
I think sometimes you have to create a balance between your desires and theirs. You know what I mean? You know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Because you know how sometimes
I don't want to balance.
Well, but that's what it takes. You know what I'm saying? And it takes communicating, because you always gonna have somebody in a relationship that don't like to communicate, who don't want to talk about it, who don't want to do whatever, and so they put all these assumptions in their heads and all these premeditated things about you. I'm not talking about you.
No,
I'm just saying
it might be me. I just thought about it.
And then
I have a whole conversation going on.
Right. The other person not only have to deal with that, in addition, they're trying to basically stay in love with you, But, you got to work at your friendship. You got to stay friends. You got to like each other. And I think in creating a balance, there's some things that, so I was talking to a guy friend of mine, and he was saying how he was tired. Him and his wife was having all these problems, and he was just like, I'm just going to go back to being me. And I was like, well, what does that mean? So for all these years you've not been you, have not been you, why? Why isn't it that you can say, okay, babe, I mean, because if you're going to change or become better or do whatever, usually that person is your helpmeet, and the things that they have, you don't have. And so you learn from them and you adopt some things and you become more whatever it is that you're missing. So why not say you were taking in things? Why it has to be where I tried all this stuff and I can't keep up that? And I was just like, that just seems like, being hoodwinked. And the woman, that's exactly what happened. You said and agreed to all this stuff and was doing all this, and all of a sudden you're going to flip the script and decide you don't want to do that no more.
Well, that's why we got to communicate in the beginning. You got to get past all the niceness and get down to the real ugliness.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, hey, if you can love them while they ugly, and I mean heart and spirit.
I was watching
then
this
you can do
movie and
right.
they were saying, you like because, and you love in spite of.
In spite of, that's
So
true.
you like people because they're nice, because they're friendly, because whatever, and you love despite their,
flaws.
yeah.
I
Yep.
mean, well, the thing about being in love is you can't be selfish. You gotta compromise. I know I'm like whatever. You gotta compromise. You gotta and you gotta accept people for who they are. And you go in there trying to change other people. You're not gonna change other people. Now I'm gonna tell you something I found out about myself in my own relationship is if I want to see a difference. If I want to change, that's on me, and if he want to change, that's on him.
But you also have
can't
to be the
make-
change you want to see.
No, but what I'm saying is you can't change anybody. You got to change yourself.
That's true.
So, and when you're in a relationship with somebody who doesn't want to change, then boo, they ain't for the one for you, because they got to want to change with you.
Yeah.
When you go back and watch this video, this is gonna be some real. She done flipped this iPad 4 times. But no,
Okay.
but I'm saying for the person to say, I want to change for our relationship to work. They got to say that. You can't
But
say change to make our relationship
Well, no,
work.
but here's my big thing. Communication is always one. But the other thing is that selfishness. Because sometimes in your pursuit to be selfish, you're not even realizing that maybe God has sent you somebody in your life to deal with that stuff that you need to deal with. So not only are they compassionate about it, but they setting an example for you, and you so dang on selfish that you're not even realizing that. You know what I'm saying? And so instead of seeing the value that they're bringing to your life, you constantly want to talk about the differences, which in my opinion opens the door for the enemy to get in and a whole bunch of foolishness to happen. Now it's the arguing and the fighting and the cheating and all that other kind of stuff. And I just think sometimes you need to take a step back, give them that same grace that you want. Because I think I was talking to Dana about this. You're going to judge me by my actions, but want me to judge you by your intentions.
Child, you know what? This relationship is getting on my damn nerve. That's too much. It's too much. Can we do something else? Then why can't this shit just be easy?
No.
It's not. Oh my goodness. If it's easy, I'm gonna tell you right now, somebody lying and somebody ain't saying what they need to say. If your relationship easy, it's some lying and some not telling stuff is going
It's
on.
going down.
Because if it's hard work, that means you are doing the work. That means ain't everybody saying what they want to say, and guess what?
Y'all going to figure it out.
No, that means it's gonna be hard.
Well, we're going to talk about dear future daughter-in-law, and that's kind of like what we're moving into. When my son and his girlfriend, and we had this conversation about just jealousy and how there are people who are going to try to, of course, break you guys apart, and people always want what you got. They look at it and see you being lovey-dovey or doing whatever. They're going to want that. But if your relationship is strong and you know that, then the haters can't do no more than what you allow them to do.
Well,
And I told him, I was like, both of you guys are attractive. You guys are tall. When you walk into a room, people going to notice you. So, yes, people, and vice versa. You got eyes. You're going to see people. So you need to just learn how to be respectful to each other and cool down on the jealousy part. Because a lot of times those offenses and jealousy is what gets you in jail.
well, and I'm gonna
Beat
tell
up.
you, all of that. I agree. I can't believe I'm agreeing with this, but I was gonna say that with all of that, we have this thing where we were talking about keeping your business to yourself, because that's part of the jealousy is when people think they know something. I make sure you don't know nothing. Ask Keisha Thomas; she's still trying to figure it out.
Oh, baby, I know. I just ain't telling.
Don't tell it, girl.
All right. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Henrietta Lacks, Lacks. The woman, she was the woman whose cells helped the fight against cancer, as revealed in the best-selling 2011 book called The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks. This is a tale of a poor black tobacco farmer who never consented to having her tissues taken, but whose cancer cells have proved so important that they have formed a foundation for work leading to 2 Nobel Prizes. Yet her family never knew about it until recently. It took them 2 decades to figure it out. But her blood samples and the things, they were so strong that they could test all different type of cultures and cancers and stuff against it to create different, what do you call those? Antidotes and different things like that.
They did research
and they've been doing this
with her.
literally since 1951. So that's been over 60-something years, and they're still reproducing her cells and sending them out to different places to test and to do these things. So it's gotten to the
It's called HeLa for Henrietta.
the HeLa cell. And the thing about it is her family at this point was like, okay, we can't narrow down who has bought this or done whatever to earn money from it. But I think it's her grandson is now on a board to help, kind of determine where the cells go and all that kind of stuff. And they were just impressed that she has basically lived on through all these years, and the fact her legacy.
I was going to say her. She's the reason for the research and development, how far they've gotten it with science. With her cells.
Yeah, I mean, her cells was a unique and aggressive type that was later described as 1 in 3 billion. 3 billion.
Her was black. Don't tell me we inferior. Don't tell me. I can't believe it, because, honey, I'm telling you, this right here, these facts let you know that we are not inferior.
Yes. And old Oprah Winfrey, and I don't mean old, but Oprah Winfrey is going to played her in an HBO film that aired April 22nd. So if you have not seen it, it's titled after the book, Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks. And I just think those type of things are the things that we need to be sharing with our kids. And so that'll be something good that you guys can watch together. All right, Key. Right. You still talking about taxes?
Girl, I'm so tired of taxes and welfare, but everywhere I go, I run across people who don't know anything, don't understand stuff. They don't understand the welfare system. They don't understand taxes. And I get it. Numbers can be very confusing, very hard, but I really want to stress that we really got to take the time to understand at least a little bit, because I know people would just say give it to the accountant and let them do it. It's your finances, and whether the accountant do it right or wrong, it's on you. It's your money. And Oprah said this. We said Oprah earlier, girl. That's my girl. Oprah said,
love her too.
Oprah said she signed her own checks.
What?
Girl, Oprah ain't letting nobody sign the Oprah checks.
She said nobody made this money, so how they get the privilege to do that?
She wants to see where each one of them checks go. And that's what I feel like with us, that we're not as present about our own finances.
Right. It happens a lot, definitely, in the entertainment business. You know how you see all those little 30s
they always
30s
get,
and
they always get
taken advantage of.
by the manager and
out there singing
agent
and dancing.
Well, and the thing is they so happy to make it that they just sign anything. And I'm gonna tell you this. Before you sign anything, if it's DJ Thomas or anyone else, we know some people, you need an attorney, you need an accountant, them two, and a financial advisor. You need to bring all 3 on board at the same time.
Yeah.
You understand? And you're the main person. You understand? And they don't tell you what to do. You listen to what they're pitching and then decide what works for you.
Yeah.
We talked about taxes, and the thing about taxes is, and we were talking about the formula. The formula is, it really is something that you have to look at what you're putting in and what you planning on getting back at the end of the year. So it means you have to do the work, or your accountant, whoever. But you need to say, I want to break even.
Yeah.
You have to say that, but you don't. Most people want a refund, so that means you got to pay in, boo.
Yeah, and you paying in for
do what they want to, and you getting less money, waiting on a refund.
Yeah,
I don't want to wait on a refund. I don't wait on one. But and then the welfare system, we touched on it last time, and the only thing I wanted to say was with the bailout companies, they rape the system so bad, and that we've got people on the list that never paid back from 2008 to 2016.
And we're talking millions,
184,000, 500,000, 184,500,000. I said that wrong. From Kentucky Housing Corporation, Alabama, 86 million. 89 for the Midwest Bank Holdings. Rhode Island had 92 million. Saxon Mortgage 100 million.
Did you
that they
find out how
never-
much Trump done got bailed out? That's who I want to know. Can you do
Girl,
that?
I
I wants to know. I need a number on that one
Trump
because he
ain't
ain't
get no
paid a
bailout.
tax first.
First of all, Trump just filed bankrupts.
I bet you he got a bailout somewhere. One of them companies belong to him. But under any rate, we get it. We get it. And so when you talk about welfare, I know you were saying the little money that they do give to assist people who are in really need.
And they cut it. They
Yeah.
cut welfare, but they ain't cut these damn bailouts, and they ain't received none of this money back.
Mm-mm-mm.
Eh.
Well, we thank you for that financial piece because you know what? I think through you we're learning some stuff. All right, education. The word of the week, inchoate. I-N.
Hold on. I was like, what in the hell kind of word is this?
Yeah,
Where did she
listen.
find this word?
I-N. 'Cause
Who the hell
read-
gonna
I was-
say this word?
I was rereading in this book. Okay, that's how you learn words.
Hey,
Okay.
I was like, man, this is a word I probably
Inchoate.
never used.
Inchoate
Go
is
ahead.
just begun and so not fully formed or developed. It's like rudimentary. So an example,
That's
when it
another
comes,
one. What the hell is rudimentary?
that's simple. Like rudimentary is, come on. When it comes to justice for blacks against racist cops, we still have an inchoate democracy. So it's something that has not as fully formed our democracy as African Americans. So we need a new Independence Day. Okay. And then the other one is scrum.
system.
I like the word scrum. Scrum is a disorderly crowd of people or things. So when you have, like, say if you walk in a room and it's a bunch of stuff sprawled all over the place, you can call it a scrum. Or if people are starting at, maybe a fight is breaking out and you see all these people and they're wrestling, it could be a scrum.
Oh, that's old English.
And they got that word. It's used a lot in rugby. And
Yeah.
in rugby, they gather together and they lock arms and try to restart play of the game because the ref will toss the ball in the center and they try to kick it out. So they in the scrum.
Okay.
So inchoate and
we
scrum.
not playing rugby.
Scrum is SCRUM. Okay, I'm just trying to give you some
Hey,
new words.
thank
And
you.
then my last one is on Betsy DeVos. I cannot, and I'll say this with a strong passion, stand her. The DOE office, the Department of Education Office of Civil Rights, changed its case processing manual, making it harder to bring civil rights claims to be heard. And the NAACP is trying to now sue them as the ultimate form of resistance to her anti-black policies. And it's
Say
just
it
going to be
again.
little bit by little bit. And see, and this is what they did. They went and changed the manual. You feel me? So where people have been, have been doing this before and think they can bring a case, if they don't read,
They can't.
okay.
bring
So
the
my
case.
15 books that okay. So leave me
Well,
alone with
then-
that.
And the other part is about our civil rights are being violated, and we fought so hard for them. So here we go, somebody dismantling our civil rights, and
And
that
here's what's even
equate.
crazy
is that
about it,
equate? Did I say it right? Equate
Inchoate, yeah.
our civil rights.
Yes, yeah, it's not fully
Not
developed.
fully formed.
And
They
here's the
trying
deal:
to-
as American
hey.
citizens, we should not even be having this conversation. It should not even be a civil rights department because everybody should have them. It
Should
should not
have
be
rights.
geared towards one specific race or culture or whatever because we're American citizens. So
But,
the same.
but why? Because we got them. Because why do we have them? Because they don't.
The
see-
unfair injustice,
Yeah,
the
and
inchoate democracy.
That's why we had to have the civil rights movement, because they did not want to give us our civil rights. As a citizen, we have civil rights. Jim Crow,
Our inchoate rights.
hey,
They wasn't fully developed.
and Jim Crow laws is like, okay, that's just another form of Jim Crow.
Yeah. Yep. So it's not only that, but just her whole reform on the. She didn't know anything. He gave her this job. I mean, like just the disrespect he has towards American citizens and towards the educational system to not even put somebody educated in the job. That's like an oxymoron, right? She's not
Yeah.
educated to be
The
educator.
overeducation.
Yeah, help me
And
out.
she's a billionaire, so she don't even understand the public school system, never even been a part of the public school system. And she says it's failing because people like you in charge.
Well, we're going to go there. Ain't nobody got time for that, and I'm going to
Girl,
include
I
that
ain't-
in it.
I ain't got
There was
time
a
for this.
91-year-old man that was beat with a brick for bumping into a kid. They were walking down the street, and apparently they said the white man bumped into this black family.
Mexican.
And
He was Mexican.
no, I saw him. He wasn't Mexican.
No, he's Mexican. He's here visiting. He's from Mexico. He's here
Oh, he
visiting.
looked white. Okay.
Yeah.
So they hit him in the face, and they were saying,
Hispanic.
come on now, 90-year-old
And that's why
bumping
they
into
was
a
telling him
kid.
to go back to his country.
Yeah, just.
I mean, the hatred for Mexico that came from the top is disturbing because
Yeah.
he's here visiting for 2 weeks. He's
Yeah.
not here to stay.
91 years
year
old.
old,
Come on.
and his family was there, and they're Hispanic, and it's like for him to call them rapists and murderers and gang members and all the things that is what they do to black people.
Well, ain't nobody got time for that. Now, there's a stripper whose money was returned to her after police took it saying it was drug money. So they tried to seize it and put it, of course, in their city system so they can use it for other purposes. And she went to court and was like, oh, heck no, you ain't about to take my stripper money. So she had her.
did a lot of
and
bouncing on her trampoline.
What? All her stripper friends testified that she gets big tips. Now, it was $19,934, baby, and they gave it all back to her.
She worked hard for that money.
Hey.
What the hell is you talking about?
So ain't nobody got time for the
But
police
then the
department
police
taking that
with
one.
they crooked
Look,
ass.
all she done did for that, baby, she done dropped it like it's hot.
Y'all grip.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay, so are you a good travel buddy?
I am a great travel buddy.
Are you?
Yeah, because I like to keep the person
Let's
away.
ask
if they
Yvette.
Yvette.
We love Yvette. Okay.
Yeah, but no,
Oh.
I mean, I like to have fun. I don't go anywhere to be miserable.
Yeah.
It's not.
Ain't nobody got time for
Ain't
that.
nobody
If
got time
I'm
for
going to be
that.
on vacation, trust and believe that I'm going to have a good time. And at this age, I will take an Uber and leave you wherever you standing and be done with it. Like kick rocks with flip-flops on.
Girl, I'm having fun. I ain't got time for it. I'm too old not to have fun.
Okay, so on a serious note, I want to leave you with this before we sign off. Ta-Nehisi Coates, in his book, Between the World and Me, said, these black Americans are not killed by a single police officer so much as they were murdered by their country and all the fears that have marked it from birth. So the fears, all of the inferiority, all that just breeds into the Fraternal Order of Police, because it's been like that for years, since we've had a police department. It was right after slavery. So you can see how it just kind of transposed over. They were like, okay, so we can no longer keep them as slaves, but we can keep them as slaves doing other stuff. And, just kill. I mean, like if you mirror those two together, you'll see definitely a lot of similarities. And he says the police is given maximum power with little responsibility for actions. Why must we, that means black people, be an endangered species in the land of the free? Why do we have to be an endangered species?
Because they fear that we're going to do to them what they did to us.
Well, because you know what?
And I would fear that, white people.
But that's the thing, because it'll have to be a real conversation. You know, I was having a conversation with a colleague of mine some years ago, and she tried to tell me that some people didn't have a problem with the Confederate. Black people didn't have a problem. And I said,
Because they don't know no better.
Yeah, because her great-grandfather, I said, he probably owns some slaves, dear heart. I mean, like, why would I want to be enslaved? He's like, well, she goes, well, they had jobs. No, you're not understanding. And that's the thing. Like, she had convinced herself, and the people who, probably was raising her when she was asking questions on why this stuff was going on was probably saying, oh, they really like that, or they blah, 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 blah. And it just keeps breeding. I know, but that's the type of stuff right there.
That's
like,
why
just,
you have to kill that stupidity. One of the things that I've noticed that when Barack Obama became president, people in backwater places was like, it's a black man and went to college and he became president. Like they had never met anybody. They thought everybody, black person they know was unqualified.
And here's the thing about it. When you pair him up to Donald Trump, and pound for pound on what the American dream is, which is a farce. It's really not an American dream. It's but anyway. And all of the things from him being married, having these children, taking, getting Ivy League education, doing da-da-da-da-da-da, and you compare this other dude, it's like, how is it that you would even begin, because of the color of his skin, or the fact that his daddy was African, disrespect him for the things that you said are true, the things that you say are important, being a Christian, being a family man. I mean, like, these are the things you said. So it goes back to what I said. He upholds all of this.
Well, and then
and then you still say that he's not worthy to do something.
Well,
but you let this jerk get in here, mess up most of our alliances with the countries that we have, talk about women, talk about people who are disabled, say even crazy stuff about, lose all his cabinet, just put it in a disarray, this whole country in the year he's been president, and y'all still got his approval rating at 40%?
Well, the
doing?
Sad part is he can't read a teleprompter. He can't give a speech. He don't know nothing when you ask him a question. Everything he says is like a 6-year-old, bigly and very big. And Barack Obama had a vocabulary.
Yeah.
I miss the vocabulary.
And you know what? And you are so right about that, because that's the first thing comes out. Oh, it was great. It was a great meeting. And I was great. And the biggest and ever. And it was a great job.
Nobody's ever had anything like this before. Says who, bitch?
Yeah.
Says who? Where you getting this shit from? I be like, what is he talking about?
I promise you, I'll be like,
when
what
he
he's
said
talking
he
about.
had the biggest inauguration, you saw all them holes in there. You could even see you could not see the ground when
Girl.
Barack Obama was inaugurated. And then you see his, you can see all the grass, trees.
Well, listen,
People were up in the trees when Barack was.
My brother-in-law sent us a satellite picture of the house music picnic. It's a huge happens in Chicago around the 4th of July every year. For us house heads, I mean, I was really into it when I was in college, and I still listen, And looking down at that picture and the number of people that were there was more people there than it was at his inauguration.
Girl, he said, first of all, it was Photoshop. I was like, how you know? Do you know what
Bless his
Photoshop
heart.
is?
Bless his heart. Okay. Well, from the outhouse
To the
penthouse, we're out.
Two different point of views with the same name. People stop. What they name is
Keisha and Keisha. Keisha and Keisha. Oh, Keisha and Keisha.